AU Grazer is an excellent source to graze. The protein levels in it are anywhere from 12 to 16%. Right here you can see the really bright lime green type stuff is the Sericea Lespedeza. It's drought tolerant. It's been known to be helpful with goats when it comes to worming. They've done research and it helps fight worms in goats. There's another benefit from it. It requires no fertilizer. And we want to be able to try to provide the best we can for these goats. And being able to plant this stuff, get this up and going, and the benefits from it for the goats is what we're after. I think this is one of the best grazing pastures you can have for goats. Well, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Kiko's. I'm Josh, and thanks for clicking on this video. So what we're doing is, I want to bring you guys along, show you the process of what we're about to do. We're planting some forage pastures for goats, and specifically AU Grazer. It's a Sericea Lespedeza, and it's kind of made for goats and cattle, but it's very, very nutritious for goats. It can be used as hay. We'll get into that here in a little bit. But we're going to be planting this. We got a line of storms rolling in. We've already went out and prepared the seed to be ready to be put in the ground. I just want to go over and talk to you guys about how we're doing it, what we're doing, why we're doing it, and kind of what we're expecting out of this. I planted this in the past to see how I do in our area about 2 years ago, and I really got it up, got it going good at my house. I'm going to go over there and show you guys that too. So what we have done is we went in and chiseled the ground up. We kind of broke it up a little bit, and we've got a disc that we run over it. We disced the ground, and we got it a good bed for the seed to lay in. So I want to show you all that, take you along, and show you this seed. So let's go over here. You can see I've got the tractor with the seeder on it. And then I've got a variety of seeds. Today we're planting this AU Grazer because that's what we got ready to be put in the ground, and it's right here, and we have 100 pounds of this seed going into the ground. That will plant 4 acres. So make sure you guys go down, you're subscribed to the channel, like this video, help get it out into the YouTube community, and we appreciate the support. Make sure that you ring that notification bell so you guys don't miss another video. With this that we're planting, I'm going to be doing updates on it. I'm going to let you guys know how it's doing for us, how it's growing, the process of it. But just make sure you are subscribed to the channel, and you don't miss another video we got. We appreciate it. So they say after the last frost of the year, right as spring is coming on, you can just throw this stuff out on the ground and it'll come up. I've read lots of stuff about it. We're kind of in late spring. We are going to lay this seed in the ground about 1/4 inch, no deeper than that, and then we're just going to lightly cover it up. Like I said earlier, we're expecting that line of storms to come through, so we want to utilize this, get it in the ground, get it wet, and get it coming up for us. AU Grazer is an excellent source to graze. The protein levels in it are anywhere from 12 to 16%. And what it is, it's a perennial, and it has leaves on it. So it's a stemmy. I'm going to go over to my house and show you guys that, and you're going to see how well it's doing over there. The Lespedeza has different strands of types, and the type that we're planting is the AU Grazer. And like I said, this 4 acres, we're just dedicating to that. There's a 7-acre pasture there. We want to try to get that whole pasture eventually in AU Grazer. So there's also different types of variety, and this right here is a Korean Lespedeza. We're going to be broadcasting that, 100 pounds of that in various places throughout this place over here. And there's another seed that we got. It's a 5-way blend. It has it's got sun hemp, red ripper peas, buckwheat. It's got sorghum Sudan. So there's a lot of different types. There's a lot of different types of varieties of summer grazing that we're trying to do, and I just wanted to dedicate this 7 acres, that's what our goal is, get this 7 acres planted in this AU Grazer. It's just very good for goats. We finished off some dolings last year for the first time on it, and they done extremely well. We didn't know why they finished off so well, but I think that what it was the Lespedeza that they was on grazing throughout the summer. So me and Joe is going to put this seed, this 100 pounds in this hopper, and then we're going to go get it spread on this 4 acres that we got ready for this.
That's little bitty shit, yeah, that's about, hell, this might be smaller.
It is.
So we're gonna have to run it. When it's slinging this stuff out. Well, let's leave it where it's at.
Look to see what it does.
And we'll get over that. Oh, you're there. Come here.
It's already coming out.
Yeah, you can't believe how.
Yeah, you're gonna have to shut that off completely. So I'm on the golf cart, Joe is on the tractor, and we're going over here to this 4 acres that we have prepared to put the seed out. And I've got this other bag of seed beside me. We probably should have waited, but I wanted to get it on video of us pouring it in there. We should have waited, but what spills out will just come up here in these pastures. We have several pastures, and what we're trying to do is create grazing pastures for these goats. So our plans in the future will be to hopefully square bale this into square hay. I've been told it's very good hay. It's kind of like alfalfa. So that's our future plans, but right now we've got to get this in the ground, get it covered up a little bit, and get some rain on it. We're out here on this 4 acres, and we have got the seed is so small. I'll show you. We've got it cut down as low as you can cut it down with this broadcast spreader, and it's still just falling through. So we're fixing to start spreading this. You can see that it's just a teeny seed, and we'll get this on the ground. You don't want this no deeper than a 1/4 inch deep, and once we get this out, we'll just run a little hair over it to kind of get it in the ground. But now it's time to spread this seed. Things about this seed, it is not cheap. It's expensive. It was about $250 for a bag, and then we had to pay for shipping. So we're only doing 100 pounds right now. We'll be adding more later on, trying to get this whole section in AU Grazer. So I wanted to talk about a couple good things about this seed. It's a legume, and it's a perennial. It's going to come back every year. If you graze it correctly, and you allow it to go to a flower and seed out at the end of summer, it is going to come back, and it's going to come back even stronger. Like I'm going to show you over at my place. The first year I didn't even graze it. I let it come up, and then I let it go to a flower. It seeded itself out, and then the next year, this year, it's come back even stronger. I grazed it last year for a little bit. I let it go to a flower. I let it seed out, and it's come back even stronger this year. So one of the reasons why we selected this pasture is, you can see behind me over here is a pasture that we graze, and we're able to shut them off of this. We've still got to continue fencing along this back side over here. We like putting up some goat fence back there, but we will be able to not worry about the goats getting in here. There's a very good fence up in between the pasture that we graze and where the AU Grazer is going to be. All right, so we got the first bag put out, and it did exactly what we thought. It covered half of what we have prepared. So now we're going to pour the other bag in, do the other half.
How in the world do they combine that stuff?
All right, guys, so I'm out here in my pasture where I planted this, and it is competing against some native grasses, but I want you to see how thick that this is in here and how it's coming up, how it's doing. I took this whole little 2-acre section right here, and there's some over there on the other side of my pond, and I planted this in the Sericea Lespedeza, and it's really come up good. I'm pleased with it. I'll be able to graze this, but what you're looking at is you'll see this tall stemmy stuff. So all this right here is Sericea Lespedeza AU Grazer. You can see over here on the other side of the fence where that is not planted, and you can see where all this is. I think if you can get this established and grow it out and be able to graze it and effectively, I think this is one of the best grazing pastures you can have for goats. That's why we're focusing in on trying to select certain pastures to make this to where we can utilize this for what is really good for our goats. So nothing has been on this, and I'm gonna let the goats graze this, pull them off, let them graze it, pull them off, and once it goes to a seed, I'm going to let it seed out again and continue just to get better. This place right here, you can see the really bright lime green type stuff is the Sericea Lespedeza. It's drought tolerant. It's been known to be helpful with goats when it comes to worming. They've done research, and it helps fight worms in goats. There's another benefit from it. It requires no fertilizer. It's good for your ground. I know up north it's a noxious weed, but I'm trying to maintain this in a pasture and get it to where I can just graze this in this section right here. So what we're doing takes a lot of time, a lot of work, a lot of effort, and it takes putting money back into your ground, and we want to be able to try to provide the best we can for these goats. And being able to plant this stuff, get this up and going, and the benefits from it for the goats is what we're after. Those dolings that I had, they finished off great last summer, the end of summer. Everything was dying out. This AU Grazer Sericea Lespedeza, it was still going strong, still growing, and still putting out good forage for the goats. That's what we're after. So out here in this strand that we have at my place, it is competing against some native grasses, and I am doing some herbicide to try to eliminate that, to help it out, to get it up, get it growing. But this is for grazing. We're not going to bale this. We're not going to use this for hay. This is just for grazing purposes, so the goats can eat this, but I'm really trying to focus on establishing this 2 acres into nothing but Sericea Lespedeza AU Grazer. So guys, I'm gonna close this video out. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you find this informative. I hope you like the tips. Stay with us. Keep up with what we got going on. I appreciate you watching, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.